Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to dive into this one with you today. We're going to set the stage for an incredible breakdown of the 2026 Men's T20 World Cup. Now, whether you're a die-hard cricket fan or you're just fascinated by massive global sporting events, this tournament had absolutely everything. We are talking staggering statistics, some really unprecedented off-pitch controversies, and an on-field climax that genuinely rewrote the history books. So let's get right into it.
1.3 million. Seriously, take a second and just let that number sink in. That is the massive spectator attendance recorded across the host nations of India and Sri Lanka. I mean, this wasn't just a cricket tournament, it was a literal continent-spanning festival. It perfectly establishes the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the event. The energy in those stadiums was just palpable, setting this colossal stage for all the drama that was about to unfold over the course of 55 matches.
Okay, let's dive into this agenda and map out our journey. First, the scale of the tournament. Second, geopolitics and off-pitch drama. Third, shattered records and milestones. Fourth, the high-stakes knockouts. And finally, India's historic three-peat.
Section 1. Scale of the tournament. Bigger than ever. Let's look at the sheer logistics and financial stakes of this thing. We had 20 competing teams battling it out across 55 matches co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. But beyond just the logistics, look at the financial weight here. We're talking an $11.25 million total prize pool allocated by the ICC, with a massive $2.45 million going straight to the champions. This absolutely matters because it just highlights the immense global footprint and the skyrocketing economic stakes of T20 cricket. And as we'll see, that builds the foundation for the intense pressures these teams faced, both on and off the field.
Section 2. Geopolitics and off-pitch drama. Tensions mount.
Now let's objectively outline a major early disruption, the withdrawal of Bangladesh. On January 3rd, citing security concerns, the Bangladesh Cricket Board formally requested their matches be moved from India. By January 12th, the ICC refused this request, stating their assessment showed low to nil risk at the venues. And finally, on January 24th, the situation reached its conclusion when Scotland officially replaced Bangladesh in the tournament lineup. So, the facts really speak for themselves here. A major team was out before a single ball was even bowled.
Tensions were also quite visible during that highly anticipated February 15th match between India and Pakistan. Notably, there was no handshake between Indian captain Suryakumar Yadav and Pakistani captain Salman Ali Agha. This was the continuation of a no-handshake policy stemming from geopolitical tensions, specifically the 2025 India-Pakistan conflict. While the match itself was played, this moment stood as a stark reminder of the complex real-world dynamics surrounding these teams.
And the off-pitch drama actually didn't stop there. We saw some truly shocking allegations come to light. Canada's captain Jasprit Bumrah was investigated by the ICC's anti-corruption unit over a potential deliberate no-ball against New Zealand. This quickly escalated when the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation reported alleged links between Bumrah and an organized crime outfit known as the Bishnoi Gang. Following these reports, the ICC took the drastic step of completely freezing funding and eventually suspending Cricket Canada's membership altogether.
Section 3. Shattered records. The batters take over.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is, I want to pose a question directly to you. Just how explosive was the 2026 tournament? I mean, think about what you'd typically consider a high-scoring tournament to look like, and then prepare to throw those assumptions entirely out the window. Because the statistical anomalies we saw were just staggering. A mind-blowing 7 centuries were scored during the single edition of the tournament. To put that into perspective for you, you have to remember that the previous tournament record was just 2. The batters completely revolutionized the pace of the game in 2026, and they essentially smashed that old ceiling to pieces.
Looking at the top run scorers, Pakistan's Sahibzada Farhan was just a statistical titan out there. His 383 runs represented a totally shattered ceiling. I mean, he actually broke Virat Kohli's long-standing 2014 record for the most runs in a single edition. Not only that, Farhan became the very first batsman to ever hit 2 centuries in a single T20 World Cup. He was followed closely by New Zealand's Tim Seifert with 326 runs, and India's Sanju Samson right behind him with 321.
But hey, it wasn't just the batters having all the fun, right? This brilliantly illustrates the other side of the coin. While the batters were making all the headlines, the host nation's bowlers were quietly dominating the field.
India's Jasprit Bumrah and Varun Chakravarti actually tied for the absolute top spot in the tournament, taking 14 wickets each. Their absolute precision was the perfect counterweight to that explosive batting we just talked about. Oh, and before we leave the records section, we absolutely have to talk about this incredible mini-narrative. Canada's Yuvraj Samra scored 110 runs against New Zealand. In doing so, he became the very first player from an associate nation, and get this, the youngest player from any nation to ever score a T20 World Cup century. Even amidst all of his team's off-field controversies, Samra delivered this surprising, historic milestone that cricket fans definitely won't be forgetting anytime soon.
Section 4. The high-stakes knockouts, the road to the final.
It's wild to contrast these two drastically different semifinals. So first, New Zealand absolutely cruised to a swift victory over South Africa by 9 wickets, totally driven by Finn Allen's blistering, undefeated century. But then compare that to semifinal 2. It was an absolute slugfest. India narrowly defeated England by just 7 runs in an incredibly high-scoring, nail-biting thriller. That match saw a historic aggregate of 499 runs. Just insane.
And we really have to point out what happened in that second semifinal. England's Jacob Bethell scored 105 runs. Even though it was ultimately in a losing effort, Bethell's performance was a historic record-setter all on its own. It still stands as the highest individual score ever recorded in a T20 World Cup knockout match.
Section 5. India's historic three-peat, the ultimate victory. The stage was completely set at the massive Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, packed with nearly 87,000 roaring fans, and the final scoreline, crushing. India put up an unassailable 255 for 5, the highest total ever in a T20 World Cup knockout match. That was spearheaded by the player of the tournament, Sanju Samson, who hit a crucial 89 runs. In response, New Zealand chased but ultimately collapsed, bowling out for 159. They were defeated by 96 runs, largely thanks to a fast-bowling masterclass from Jasprit Bumrah, who took 4 wickets while conceding just 15 runs.
So the crucial point here is exactly what this victory means for the broader history of the sport. With this win, India cemented a truly legendary status with 3 incredible firsts. They became the first team to ever successfully defend a T20 World Cup title. They became the first country to win the title on their own home soil. And they became the first team to win the tournament 3 times overall. It was quite simply a masterclass in dominance. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. We saw totally smashed run records, unprecedented off-field geopolitical drama, massive record-breaking crowds, and a historic three-peat victory. So, how could the 2028 tournament possibly top the explosive records and the intense drama of 2026? It is a remarkably high bar to clear, and I, for one, absolutely cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.